When you want to lose weight, you start jogging, you don't put sugar in your coffee, you don't drink beer, but despite this, you can do it. There is like a dark force that is sabotaging your plan. In my case, that dark force is called pizza. In software engineering, it's exactly the same. You want to deliver faster and better, you follow the best practices, you adopt the best tools, but there is a dark force that makes your efforts in vain. It's called Conway's law. Have you ever heard of it? Before I explain what this mysterious force is, let's see if you recognize yourself in one of these organizational charts. The first one, 3 layers, front-end team, back-end team, infrastructure team. This one, dev team, testing team, operations team. Or this one else, functions, customization and support. Each of these charts looks perfectly reasonable in theory, but they are falling into the same trap. In 1967, this man, Melvin Conway, observed something surprising. There is a link between how the teams of an organization communicate each other and the systems they design. Funny, isn't it? Let's look at some examples. Imagine a company divided into 3 departments, front-end, back-end and infrastructure. It's intuitive, right? Because we put all people with the same skills all together. If this company was a pizzeria, it was like having the pizza dough team, the topping team and the oven team. Which are the problems behind this structure? Mainly we have 3 types of issues regarding the architecture, the quality and the time to market. From an architectural point of view, most of the time front-end and back-end team become silos, they don't talk each other. Back-end teams tend to make rigid API that don't fit so well with the front-end, and so the front-end grows in complexity, becoming slow. From a quality point of view, each team tests its own layer in isolation. The focus on end-to-end testing is lost. And finally, from a time-to-market point of view, we are in front of a chain of dependencies because front-end often waits for backend waits for infrastructure. This chain stretches the delivery time of a new feature. Now imagine a company organized this way. It's the classic supply chain, developers, tester, operations, and it's intuitive enough because we put all together the people who work on the same phase of this delivery chain. If the company was a pizzeria, it was as we had the pizza baking team, the package team and the delivery team. What are the problems here? Basically, we have 2 walls dividing the 3 teams. When developers close tasks, they throw them over the wall. When testers are ready, they check the features and they find bugs eventually, but sometimes as past, the context is lost and fixing the bugs takes longer time. And finally, we have the operations. They can face some issues releasing in production, even though the features work fine in the local and the dev environment. So with this organization, the dark force of the Conway's law tends to increase time to develop new features and increase debugging and costs. Now imagine a company like this. Here we have the core team that develops the basic product and the customization teams that adapt it for customers. It's intuitive, right? I dedicate teams for customers. The problems? Often the core teams works in a bubble really detached from the real needs of the clients. Customization teams are put under pressure by demanding clients and they compensate the slowness of the core team applying temporary and quick solutions, but they are poorly scalable solutions. More customization teams apply the same solution, so they reinvent the wheel, forking from the core business line, and forks are hard to maintain and to debug. The Conway's law is not dark magic, but it's an opportunity. There is a technique known as Inverse Conway Maneuver. The basic idea is simple. Firstly, you decide on the target architecture of the system you want to achieve. Then you organize the teams to reflect that structure. Product and architecture are over the organizational charts. For example, do you want a microservice architecture and modular products? Create cross-functional teams by business domains. Each team has developers, quality analysts, DevOps. The team is autonomous from the development to the delivery. The benefits: no dependencies among teams. That means fewer meetings, fewer blocks, and very low time to market. Autonomous teams, that means less frustration and more productive developers, and clean architecture, less technical debt and lower maintenance costs. There are some risks even with this model. The domain teams are so autonomous that they might not talk each other, they might reinvent the wheel. This is the reason why it's important to have cross-team meetings between tech leaders or between developers. It may work to introduce platform teams. Platform teams can introduce other kind of problems. We will talk about that in another video. If you are dealing with a complicated architecture or delivery delays or very expensive maintenance, consider that your issues might not be in the source code but in how the organization is structured and how the teams communicate and interact with each other. Let me know in the comments how you are organized in your company and share your experience with the Conway's law. By the way, talking about opposing dark forces, some dark forces are to be fought, like the Conway's law. Others are to be embraced, like pizza.